welcome to follow the penultimate match of the World Team Carcassonne Online Championships 2025, so Season 6. And of course, today we'll be covering the bronze medal match of the season between Ukraine and Poland. Now, Poland has had a bit more success throughout the history than Ukraine. Well, not that much, but still. The semifinals already were the best that Poland has ever done, and of course, being now in the bronze medal match, it is arguably, I reckon, like kinda even better than the semifinals, but that's well arguable. Whereas Ukraine has actually only been able to get into the top 16, well, only and only, but in 2021, Ukraine got in the top 16, and also in 2024 got into top 16, and curiously enough, on both times they were knocked out in the playoffs by the United Kingdom. Both times. In 21 and 24, and on other years, Ukraine has not been able to get into the playoffs, except, of course, this year, where they have now stacked their elite lineups and rosters and been able to get all the way into the bronze medal match. Their roster is currently, well, has changed from 21 by 4 players actually. The new people ever since are Nazario, Smile, Tanya Yusenko, as well as Pablo Brin. For Poland, though, I am actually not sure. I should have checked that as well, but well, we'll do that at some other point. So, big stakes today on the play. The third place team will get an additional spot in the individual world championships in Germany Herne later this year in October, whereas the fourth place team will only get well, glory and a bitter taste of defeat for the final match of their season. And certainly neither of these teams is really not going to be satisfied with a fourth place, because we all come here to win. Now, for the mood setting, of course, welcome to the 2025 bronze medal match between Ukraine and Poland. The lineups you can see above me right there. We have on table 1 Nasari Pavliuk versus Thomas Preus. Nasario certainly gonna be having a difficult time, despite the fact that he has a better win percentage. If we take a look at the raw percentages, Nasari has not lost a single duel, although he only has 2 duels played, whereas the former, I think, 2017 world champion has played in every single match for Poland, totaling 8 duels, and only has 1 loss under his belt. So 7 out of 8 wins certainly is a pretty high, let's say, a stack to be beaten with an 88 win percentage is pretty staggering. On table 2, though, we have a completely different position, whereas the best performing player for Ukraine this season, Yevgen Lepeka, with the screen name Smile, has a full 100, 6 wins out of 6 duels, doing just amazingly well this season. And he'll be facing Thomas Roda, the 2024 Polish national champion, who has had a decent tournament. I believe he has, I want to say, 2 wins out of 3. I know I just showed the statistics there, but I do not have the memory. But I'd say either 2 out of 4 or 2 out of 3, but still a decent tournament so far. But Smile certainly a favorite on table 2. Then on table 3, Yaroslav Herasumenko versus Michal Patura. A bit of fluctuation on the success for both players, actually. As a matter of fact, Poland doesn't have currently playing any player who has a 100 win percentage, but they have been using largely the same players throughout the tournament, mostly Scuti and Mateus. But we all know that Lawyer is certainly a fantastic player on his own. A telling sign of that is his bronze medal of the MSO Grand Prix of 2024. Then Maxim Basiluk versus Ukas Pritskat versus on table 4, which would also be quite a tasty treat, but we'll be focusing on table 5, which I would say arguably is the absolute tastiest treat of this match. The Kirill Manachov with the screen name adrear versus the Polish captain Mateusz Poslewicz on table 5, both rated well above 700. Also, Mateusz has been playing like his teammates Preus in every match for Poland this season. Has had a bit of a, let's say, a bit of a worse performance than his teammate, but still a lot of faith being put into Mateusz. But let's see if he'll be able to take on adrear, who was just a few days back still the highest rated player on Board Game Arena. And if, of course, we have time for the other matches as well, then we will certainly be covering those. Welcome, Sergey. Last year we also had Elite Squad. It didn't help. I mean, dare I say, Ukraine is pretty difficult not to gather an elite squad, but hey, at least this year you've done just tremendously well. better than in any other year, and so there's a pretty a staggering a line of improvement, I would say. Also, gotta appreciate the let's say humbleness of Zaharik, who is the captain of Team Ukraine, that he has not actually put himself to play today, but is instead watching from the sidelines and giving all faith and belief into the hands of his teammates. So, short road, couple cities for both players, and the first monastery comes to Mateusz. Puts it really to the only possible spots. I mean, yeah, this one is like doable, but like it's not really better because here it controls well kind of the road, but also this city of Adrear. Whereas over here it would control the road, but it would still the same way cause issues with the city of Mateusz and potentially would be resulting into a blocked 2-meeple sequence. Adriar swiftly unifying his 1-point city to the triple city, which does get now a slightly, let's say, more difficult to complete, I guess. It's also attackable from 2 sides, so honestly should probably be putting his faith into just making this a ruin, or really just preparing to make a ruin out of this. Not a fan of this move by Adria. Would have definitely liked him starting the road from the top part. The reason being that currently Mateus can go over here with a triple city with a road, take 2 points, and obstruct the road. Whereas Adriar would then be just having a bit of a difficult position. Whereas if you go here, then it's going to be very limited amount of tiles that Mateus can make any kind of let's say uncanny moves for this road. More obstruction going on for Adriar's features for the road, well mainly for the road, because this city can very well be formed into a ruin. But the point of this move for by Mateus is to simply get 2 meeples of blue blocked into this square for the price of this monastery, because the city is now no longer in danger, so it doesn't really need to be attended to. There are all types of tiles to go into this square. There are Doritos, there are daggers, and there are even city crossroads. Though a city crossroad would be the worst type of tile for Mateus to place here, because it would also cut or end the road of Adriar, and that's not exactly what Mateus wants because of this exact move over here. We also see that Adriar has now drawn the second divider from the deck, which means that no divider is coming over here, and these 2 meeples will be unified together. And that's going to be a big issue for Mateus, as he has this vulnerable dagger square over here, and he can't really unify these cities together before he has found the dagger, because otherwise it would just endanger this square into a block. But adrear is taking advantage of that very fact and now putting pressure on this unification square as well. So now really any tile found over here or over here will affect the other, and it's like a very dangerous kind of a unilateral um, formation, which is not going to be playing well into the hands of Mateus here. Second monastery for Mateus, and he's not afraid to meeple it. Now we are going to be seeing some meeple going back into the hand of Fred, but as we can see, he does not take away this city over here, which was more difficult to actually retrieve into back into his hand solely because of the reason of this curve. So really trying to push for this dagger spots and really trying to cause issues for the road and for the city for the maximum pain. And actually, it's going to be interesting to see that if adrear gets the dagger, does he go here immediately? Because like it does help the road, it does help the city, but it's going to be a bit uncomfortable because then what could happen is Mateus just goes over here with the straight road, takes the road, fulfills this square, takes back the monastery, takes back the city, starts blocking this one, maybe it doesn't even ever actually get finished, stuff like that. So there are risks involved for sure. Where there are no risks involved though is the monasteries of Mateus, which are getting completed very nicely here. Still two crossroads to fit into this square, but they are already scoring 16 anyways. Now the unfortunate thing is that Mateus did have to use a dagger, which he really would have wanted to place over here to get this meeple back and to be able to fully make the road vulnerable alongside with this city. So the dagger now comes. So does adrear go for the move? And he does not. He does not. We can see he does not. And the reason is that he doesn't guarantee the liberation of this road or the liberation of, or let's say the completion of this city, but he would be guaranteeing the liberation of this monastery. So instead, an arguably very good move, just 8 points for adrear, takes back his monastery, gets 3 more points on the field, and 4 points from the city. So can't really complain there. Monastery is getting back into Mateus' hand. It's a how do you even say that? Mateus' hand. It's weird. Okay, dagger found to the hole, and we gotta risk some points. We gotta go for the block. There is still one one filled Dorito to go into the square. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. So can't really risk the completion of that city. The final Dorito, the final dagger, excuse me, does find its way into adrear's hand, and he takes 9 points, still not going over here, and this square is now blocked entirely. So the plan that Mateus had with the curve has kinda worked. Not to the fullest extent, because his city never got completed. It's now going to be just a ruin, and these are going to be roughly equal points for the monastery and the city versus the city and the road. So a lot of issues in the position here for the Polish. Behind on the scoreboard, he still has to attack the field here, and has two meeples tied in a 12-point feature, which is equal amount um, to the field, but since the field can be still enlarged and stacked more points to it, then it's going to be a huge issue for Mateus here, and he will have to attack the field for sure, and he does. So the first attack from Mateus onto the field does come. No more crossroads remaining into this square, also no more daggers remaining, but are there curves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are still two regular curves, and most likely I would say what needs to happen here for Mateus is he's gonna have to go here, and he's gonna have to drop a farmer, because if he just takes points, like he can't do that, because otherwise adrear immediately is going to go with the second farmer, and then there are just almost no attacking spots to the field, and this attacking spot is no good for Mateus, because it blocks, or let's say arranges a blocking opportunity for adrear onto this square right here. So evidently using Ah, I mean, he takes the apparently he takes a very big risk of just taking the point, and it does pay off. I mean, it is a huge risk, but Matheus decided that, or rather deemed that it was necessary for him to really go for the risk over here for the extra points, and he deemed that it is necessary for him to get some extra, not just unify the fields, but to be able to also score where he can. A really horrible tile actually for Mateus. I mean, usually it's a good tile. It's a scoring tile, but in this case, he cannot block the invasion over here from adrear. He cannot defend his connection to the field, and he cannot actually even take care of this field connection opportunity. And he can't connect. He can't really do anything useful. These 2 points are not really important, but that is, or let's say 3 points, but it is very likely what M2 is going to do, unless he goes maybe over here and tries to harass the opportunity of adrear of dropping a farmer there, and it is something that he does, but I mean, it doesn't really do much, because with any city tile, adrear would have dropped a farmer over here anyway, but now he could have just done it over here as well. Like, it doesn't really change anything in my eyes. Going for the third meeple to the field, and I believe this is actually already game over, because the only meeple that Mateus can actually bring to the field is this one. This 3-point meeple here is currently blocked as a result of the Dorito of adrear, and with the point lead of plus 14 on the scoreboard, plus 17 here, plus 14, these are equal 6 versus 6, 16, sorry, 13, 20, 12. Yeah, it's like at equal points if this connection is made, but adrear just has two extra meeples in hand. Like, there is no salvation here for the Polish. He's gonna make the connection, but that's all that he can do. The rest is just simply waiting. And really, adrear just doesn't have to care about anything. He doesn't have to care about the field anymore. He can just go here, score 6 points. Over here, actually might even be better. I mean, 6 points here, but maybe this city can be netting a couple extra points, or just doing a 2-point move like this, which is also looking quite fine. Maybe we have to block as Mateus here, or maybe there's nothing really to do. Well, especially not with this tile with the road Dorito, which gets adrear even 7 more points. Just a perfect um, ending tile for Kirillo, and he takes this one down very confidently with I would say like a 15 extra points or so, maybe a bit more than that, but no real no real troubles in this game for adrear at any point really. Because I don't think he was without meeples at any moment. He was the first on the field. He never really had a threat of Mateus actually just simply overrunning the field. Like he could never have lost it. Uh, like maybe the only time that adrear had to like actually do something was about this city when he started to do some like half blocking with the vanillas, and they actually ended up doing some fantastic work here, as we saw with the 2 dagger sequence. So 1-0 to Ukraine on table 5. And we shall hop right into the next game. We can also update that much that Yevgeny Lepeka is in the lead on table 2, and he's not willing to lose his win streak. And actually, if he wins his duel on table 2, his winning chances might actually be better, or not winning chances, but his win percentage with the amount of duels that he has played might even be the best of well, from every player of the entire tournament. Okay, 3-point lead for Kirillo, and we see yet another stack of monasteries from Mateus, just like in the previous game. Certainly looking to create the small Vatican. First monastery for adrear as well, in a bit of a weird spot. I mean, is this really a good one though? I don't really see it being that good though. Like, it immediately creates issues for the road and for the monastery. I feel like a better one would have been over here. Like, despite it taking away a opportunity, like one platform to attack the city, like it's still worth it to like not create any issues to your own road, no? Just seems a bit weird. But it does seem to pay off though. He gets the dagger. Can go over here, can go over here. Decides to simply go for the simple route. Now, does Mateus feel adventurous? He could do a number of things. He could go just here, take 4 points. He could go over here, save the monasteries, Maybe over here, save the monasteries over here, though it would be pretty bad actually. Or he could even go over here. Decides to do the rational thing and goes for the salvation of his monasteries, which is fine, though it's going to be Mateus who's going to try to find a well an extender over here, maybe even a tube divider, but well, certainly now it's going to be much better for Mateus to find any sort of tile over here because there's no immediate threat of this 8-point city actually getting finished. Restriction of the monastery to city bells road tiles on both sides. Does make sense, but it is just giving a point to your opponent though. Um, is it really that strong? I mean, at least it takes away the monastery spot, which adrear might have been looking at over here. Wonderful use for the quad city for Mateus, gets to connect his second meeple and now is looking to get a triple city over here, then maybe some double Doritos and some city caps and maybe like actually threaten the completion of this monstrosity. In the meanwhile though, both players focusing on this monastery over here with a blocking and a saving move, and the extender without a shield is drawn by Mateus, the best possible tile arguably for him to draw. Gets his monastery out and now has two well developed monasteries that are in entirely safe from any blocking. Is this reckless? It might be, because Mateus could actually just attack the road, which I would actually just want to do. It doesn't really matter that you create a vulnerability on your own city because it's kinda unlikely to get finished in the first place. And like this road is just long. It's just 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points already. Like what's the worst that could happen? Like getting a crossroad for adrear? It doesn't even attack, which I don't agree with. I mean, it was just a really easy attack though. A really easy attack. With with still a lot of crossroads remaining for sure, but like if it gets restricted to a crossroad, or if a crossroad strikes immediately, it doesn't really matter. Like Mateus still will have a 2-point road that has a lot of road ends still available in the deck, and he would actually just straight up threaten the connection on a long road, which now got to be in its let's say a royal peace and was able to achieve all of its goals really of just finishing a cool 10-point road with no altercations, which I wouldn't really say that serves the winning chances of Mateus with pleasure. Okay, new cities for Mateus, trying to actually cause some issues with the second road of Kirillo, trying to get a curve here, block this square, but as mentioned earlier, a lot of crossroads were still remaining in the deck, and a crossroad was exactly what Kirillo draws and saves his meeple, and now trying to go for another attack on the city. Might actually bail out immediately though, and he does. Really, what this really the purpose of this move was to just get like any road any city tile, sorry, and just see what counts. Like if he gets a triple city, maybe he goes here, maybe he goes here. If he gets a city cap, then just bail out immediately and make the construction of the city just slightly more difficult. And now again with a 13-point lead on the scoreboard, a nice ruin versus a ruin versus ruin fight, some monasteries for both players. It is a much more pleasant situation here for adrear. Again, with the meeple majority and with some scoring opportunities as well. With this open city cap right here, a possibility of taking a meeple back, and this field is also now open. So adrear could, and I reckon he will, go for a meeple on the field. And he does. Mateus tries to create issues with the city and also tries to block the city caps from getting finished and from creating extra points to the field. It's going to be a bit of a difficult process to do though, because this might not even be a blockable square. Another fact that is not helping is the fact that adrear adds a second meeple to the ruin, and now we have kind of a big issue over here for Mateus, because in order for him to get his monastery meeple back, he is going to have to place a tile over here, and seeing that there's only one divider, I mean, theoretically at least, he could get the divider, but I'm not sure if that's even going to help him that much though, because he's 9 points behind on the scoreboard. He now has to somehow again take care of a field that adrear has started. He has maybe even a losing ruin fight with actually 8, 10, 11 points versus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. With 11 versus 10. And this is going to be a big issue because it might just be extra points for Kirillo at any given moment. And this is why Mateus goes for a new plan, and instead of trying to block this square for adrear, he goes for a road Dorito move instead. Still 3 of those in the deck, 2 after adrear just drew one of them for himself, and it is drawn. We are also going to be getting a road in the process of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's still rodents in the deck for us to have. I guess the move is not instant because we could also do this and essentially also take a road over here, but does not give a meeple back to adrear's hand. Also, this isn't actually as juicy as it seems because what it also does, it just gives points to the field. So instead of being just a 10 points move, it's gonna be actually just 6 points. 1 for the monastery and 3 for the field. And this is 4 points, but just without giving a meeple back to adrear. Arguably, this is actually even better, I would say. But our win condition if there is one, might be just not caring about the size of the field and just attacking that field at some point with, well, I actually don't even know how, but especially after this, but we might have to come up with some sort of way to attack the field, especially if this gets enlarged into 12 points or even 15 points, which might not be possible though any longer. But 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there is still a vanilla over here, and also a tube divider to go into this square. So it is actually possible to still get 15 points for this field for adrear, which is something that uh, Mateus has to be worried about, especially with only 5 tiles remaining. And judging by the orientation of the city of Adriar, I think he is considering to be in the lead enough so that he doesn't again have to really care about Mateus attacking this field at all. It does look like it, because Mateus has to like get the vanilla and the tube divider to prevent Adrian from scoring, and if he gets those tiles, like he can, I guess, score this city with like pretty much 5 points, and then maybe like 4 points for this one. But like, is that like all he can do? And that might be the case. It's looking really terrible for Matheus for sure. Yeah, he does go for the plan here, and well, it kind of already fails because Adrian draws the vanilla, and he's just gonna keep scoring for 7 points, or even maybe take this field over here, just because there are 2 tiles still left for Adrian, and he might be left to meeple a surplus. We do get the city cap though, so that's something. So we finish the city, and Adriar, wow, actually almost all of the tiles, if not all of the tiles remaining, were city caps. Damn. So there is still, I believe. Oh, never mind. No, I'm really bad at counting tube dividers. It seems there is 1, there is 2, and there is 3. So there is no tube divider, but nonetheless, still a lot of city caps were remaining in the deck. And for the final performance for Mateus, do we just take, I think it's gonna be a 3-point field over here, which it should have definitely, actually no, never mind, it wouldn't have changed anything. No, it would have. Taking the field over here would have been the best move, because it would have prevented this 8-point move of Adria, and would have resulted into Adria simply getting 3 points as opposed to 8. So would have been +5 for Mateus there, but looks like Adriar has enough of a lead that those 5 points wouldn't really determine the winner in the other direction. And again, about the same amount of points extra for Adriar as in the previous game, 15 points, and it's gonna be the first match point for Ukraine. And it's gonna be time for us to switch a table to another one. And we're gonna do that by deciding after watching the updates on the other tables. We have Thomas Preus leading on table 1. We have a decider going on table 2. We have Lawyer in the lead on table 3, and Basiluk on table 4 leading 1-0. So far, no other match points. So, who do we go for? I mean, we could go for example, what do we go for? Let's go for actually for Lawyer versus Misny, because Misny hasn't actually played that much in this tournament. I believe this is like his maybe third duel or so. So let's see how he's gonna handle things against Herasonenko. Ruined fights, couple extra monasteries, a big scoreboard lead for Yaroslav, and Misny really has only the fields, but the fields don't even look that big. It's 9 points, well, 12 points, and another 9. So 21 there that's like pretty much covering the 20-point difference on the scoreboard, and then 1, 7, 8, 16, 24, 21. Yeah, Yaroslav's lead currently is like 25 points, give or take a few, and then he has 2 extra meeples. Like it's a horrendous situation for Misny. Really horrendous, and it's looking like Ukraine's chances for grabbing the bronze medals are tremendously great. I would say that Ukraine definitely went into this match as a strong favorite, but let's see if Poland can still turn this around, maybe on the other tables, or maybe a massive miracle happens in this one and somehow Misny turns this around, although I have no idea how he would be able to do that. Maybe we go here, then we get a city cap, we get a dagger, sorry, a go here, get a city cap, get a Dorito, or we don't. Just go here for 1 point. Like at this stage, Misny really doesn't have to care about like leaving these volatile squares. Like he really has to go for absolute cinema risks. He really has to go for just insane risk, because he's just down like what did I say? Like 25 points. Like he's gotta do something critical. And Yaroslav is just gonna keep scoring. He's just gonna go take 2 points here or here. I guess he wants to still keep this connection alive, so maybe better to take this or this. Up. 1, 2. What? Did he miscount? I think he just miscounted the starting tiles, because all 4 are gone, and this road meeple was already dead. Yeah, this is just a waste of points, which is unfortunate for Yaroslav, but not that it really matters in his situation. Straight road for Yaroslav takes a 5-point road and connects the 3-point meeple to the really the main field of 15 points. So an 8-point move. Wisny gets another meeple on the 12-point field. Has also been able to complete the connection over here for a couple extra points. And now Yaroslav just simply threatening the connection, or used to threaten the connection to the 12-point field, and got Wisny to invest a secondary meeple to it. I am fully expecting something like taking a 3-point ruin or maybe taking a new city over here, just depending on the tiles remaining. Maybe could even attack this ruin, but it looks like there are close to no connection tiles remaining then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No triple cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, there were 2 Doritos, so this makes sense. And it's not like Yaroslav really has to worry about being like careful and taking the exact points from somewhere, because again, leading by, I would say still by like 25 points, if not more. He's just gonna go for the max points that he can. Really, just a 4-point move for Misny about to come, or that's what I would have expected. But it is not that, because like if he, yeah, I mean with the remaining tiles though, I would have actually fully gone with the 4-point road, because with the monastery it would be 5 points over here, like only 1 extra point, but the main purpose of it would have been to actually just delete the 3 points from lawyer, whereas now he can only, like he can still do the same thing, but it's going to be only a 1 point for the ruin here. So he is essentially now losing out on 3 points, which is of course not that great. Or actually, does he have to go here? I did say 2 Doritos, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there is a Dorito remaining for lawyer, and it would be a 5-point move. Is it a road Dorito? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is not. So this is a 0 point. Oh, this is actually a mistake. This is a mistake. See, you have to take into account the net points that you get instead of the direct points, because now you are not taking. Let's put it this way: you are making a 0-point move, whereas you could do a 4-point move over here, right? So that's like -4, right? Now, if you don't do this, lawyer goes over here for 5 points, and you go over here. That's -1 negative net point, and when you go over here, if lawyer feels like he wants to bother for the best moves, he can go anywhere for 3 points, like over here, take a field, anything like that, and it's going to be a net negative -3 points for Misny. So important to notice the difference between direct points and net points. Lawyer takes down the table 3 to 0, and another casualty for Poland has sufficed. It's now 2-0 Ukraine. And let's see, if we have anything else, and we do. It is actually 3-1 for Ukraine, as Thomas Preus has been able to take a point for Poland on table 1. Wait, never mind. Not Preus yet, but sorry, Thomas Jack has been able to take a point out of Smile, which is actually quite quite a let's say quite the news. So unfortunately, Yevgen is going to be finishing up the season with a loss and not able to maintain his perfect record. But not that it's going to be really shadowing the win of today all that much. Now we still have one duel left on table 1, or we used to have before it was finished just a minute ago, and it's going to be a 0-2 win for Scudi, which is going to be wrapping up this match in a staggeringly short match of 45 minutes, which is quite underwhelming. I have to say for the second most important match of the season, but that's how it goes. Congratulations to Ukraine on delivering with the elite lineups, and now getting your additional spot for the individual world championships for 2025 by reaching the third place of the WTCOC. I guess congratulations are also in order for Poland, despite taking a loss today. I mean, let's still remind everyone that this is Poland's best result ever in this competition. Earlier on, they were, if I remember correctly, they were able to reach the quarterfinals. I think I want to say once, maybe twice, once or twice. And I think it was in the early years, like 2020 and 2021. But then after that, I don't think there has been any significant success for Poland until this year. So the former world champion Thomas Veros does take does bear his responsibilities with honor and ends up strong, winning 8 duels out of the 9 that he played, which is a very staggering result. It's with quick maths, it is an 88%. No, that can't be true, man. What? No, it is. It is like, oh well, it's 89% of the duels. It's like 88.8. Yeah, 89% win percentage, which is very formidable. Unfortunately, this is no one-man show, and unless enough of your teammates can also succeed on the same day, the individual talents are not going to be shining as bright. Thomas Jack can also certainly be happy for his own performance today, giving the second point for Poland. But of course, the big winners today, Lawyer, Basilic, and Adrear, delivering the important points for Ukraine and securing the bronze medal spot is gonna be a big celebration, a big celebratory um, event today for all the Ukrainian fans. A quick reminder again that Ukraine until today has only reached the top 16 two times in 2021 and 2024, and other than that, they hadn't actually gotten further into playoffs. But a medal is certainly going to be shining up that record for sure, and really just making the concrete example, let's say, out of Ukraine, that they are gonna be here pretty much every year now to really challenge every single team they face. Then we have now just one singular match remaining, and that is, of course, the grand finale between Japan and Chile. It's going to take place at 22nd of June, so on Sunday at 4 a.m. My time, so at 1 a.m. UTC time, which is dreadful, really dreadful for European fans, because of course on Mondays people gotta go to work, and being trying to be awake at 1 a.m. Well, 1 a.m. For if you are lucky and live on the western side of the Europe, but for the middle Europeans or Eastern Europeans, it's gonna be quite the pain, if not just impossibility, to be awake at that time. I mean, 4 a.m. is it's pretty bad, but that's what happens when an Asian and an American team are facing each other and get to decide the time. Can't have it always. But for those of you who have enough just pure willpower for Europeans, and for, of course, all Asians and Americans, feel free to tune in on Sunday at 1 a.m. UTC time to watch the grand finales of Japan and Chile, where we'll see if Japan is going to be able to conquer their fifth, can't believe I'm saying that, but fifth World Championship title, or if Chile is gonna be making a massive surprise and going to be getting their first ever, actually not only medal but also the first World Championship, as I believe that until this moment Chile has also managed to get to the quarterfinals, I think once in, I want to say, like 2022, 2021. I like one or the other, I believe. And besides that, I don't recall them to have been progressing further. But it has changed this year, and Chile can make a massive surprise, which they have already done, of course. But if they can beat Japan, the let's say the final boss of this entire um, entire competition throughout the history, then that would be pretty big end for the competition, and also just the end of the week for Sunday in itself. But that's where we will be wrapping up the stream. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for sticking all the way until the end. And if you do enjoy this type of Carcassonne content, then there's an easy way to support the channel by subscribing or by liking the stream. Once again, congratulations to Team Ukraine and Team Poland on having tremendous success this year in the competition. And we certainly hope to see you come back also next year, even more fierce and even more strong, and perhaps in some cases with even better results. Bye for now.